Good afternoon. I'm Mike Satterley, class coordinator and instructor of police for the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the 280th Basic Training Class. Members of Class 280 and those present, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. 280, right face.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 280, center face. Please be seated. During your time here at KLETC, you've walked past the Wall of Honor numerous times. The Wall of Honor is a reminder of the ultimate sacrifice paid by each of the KLETC graduates who are memorialized there. At this time, we'll have a moment of silence to honor those 27 graduates who have given their life in the line of duty. Please join me. Thank you. Members of the 280th, I appreciate each one of you for all of your efforts while you've been here at KLETC. I hope you understand what an honor it's been for me to be one of your instructors and your class coordinator. Hopefully throughout your time here, the other instructors and I have each been able to impart and pass on some insight and some information, not only from the curriculum, but from our education, our experiences, and our careers that will benefit each of you in yours. In the beginning of your time here at KLETC, you likely arrived and were in some fashion, at least a little bit, out of your comfort zone, forced into a unique environment with unknown experiences and challenges that laid ahead for each one of you. It's my hope that through those experiences and challenges, you've truly come to respect and even appreciate your time here at KLETC. The training, experiences, and the knowledge that you've gained while here is truly priceless and will in some form help each of you to be successful in this profession. On behalf of all KLETC administration, instructional, and support staff members, we congratulate you for completing your basic training. It is a KLETC tradition for the class president to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 280th Basic Class President, Officer Jonathan Davis of the Altamont Police Department.
Good afternoon, graduates, and congratulations on completing your education here at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. Greetings to the family, friends, fellow law enforcement officers, and other distinguished guests who have joined us today, and thank you for your support as we enter our chosen careers as law enforcement officers. To my classmates, all of us know that making it to this point has been no easy task. Our minds and our bodies have been pushed to their limits. Our patience and grit have been strained, and our commitment has been tested. Yet, for a short time at least, we can relax. We have made it to graduation, and we are ready to begin our careers. You can hold confidence that you are well prepared for the beginning of your service. However, I ask you to keep this in mind. There are many things that we still don't know. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, and I challenge you to do so. Now, I am no poet, but I would like to give my class a few fragments of advice that I have been given, as I believe you all may benefit from them as well. First, I would ask you to consider the concept of servant leadership. Your role, both inside and out of your community, is to serve. It is not to draw a paycheck. It is not to ruin a bad guy's day. Our role is to serve. It is said that even Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. The concept still applies. We have become leaders, and all eyes are now on us. Take care of your entire community. Put the people first and your own intentions and emotions second. As we all know, the job can become dull at times. Please do not allow complacency to enter your mind. Failure to be mindful is dangerous, and it will always reflect on you, your department, your community, and your fellow law enforcement officers. We all know that certain events, such as traffic stops, can become routine. Losing your motivation to conduct these events properly could lead to grave consequences. We have all heard the phrase, complacency kills. I beg of you to keep this mentality in mind, as I would rather attend a class reunion than attend one of our funerals. Stay vigilant, stay aware, stay safe, and stay alive. We each have our own reasons for it, yet we are all stepping into one of the most pressured and criticized careers in the nation. We will often find ourselves carrying burdens that are hard to match. Stigmas of law enforcement will be of no aid to us. It will be tempting to bury our reactions. Our career revolves around being calm in tense, potentially dangerous situations. Bottling our feelings degrades our efficiency, and I ask you to do yourself, your family, your community, and your fellow law enforcement officers a favor and ensure that your mind is sound and strong. Your loved ones have chosen to stand beside you. Do not let them down by failing to take care of yourself. If ever in your careers you feel overwhelmed, I beg of you to seek help. It does not matter who you call, but call someone. All of you have my contact information, and I give you my word that I will always be available if you need someone to talk to. Please do not hesitate to call. My family has been in law enforcement for generations, and there has been a specific piece of advice passed down from father to son. It came to my grandfather, from him to my father, and from him to me. I would now impart to you what is known in my family as a true lawman's legacy. Always remember that you are not just a police officer or a sheriff's deputy, but you are also a peace officer. Our job is to keep and restore the peace. We are not here just to arrest everyone who may or may not be criminals. We must uphold and enforce the law, yet remain aware that laws can change. Maintain your humanity. Treat everyone with respect, to include yourself. And never forget that oftentimes you are seeing people on their worst days. Your shield is more than just a badge. It represents our commitment to shield all humanity equally from evil and injustice. Always remember that Lady Justice is blindfolded by design. She shows no favor or bias as her scales judge innocent or guilty. It is your integrity, not your position, which validates your authority. You have all chosen an amazing profession. As we leave here today, I ask that you remain confident in your training, vigilant in all that you do for your community, and put love and faith in your families as they support you through your endeavors. It has been a true honor to train beside each of you remarkable men and women. Again, congratulations on your graduation, and here's to your future as a law enforcement officer. Thank you.
Jonathan, it's my pleasure on behalf of the administration and staff to present you with this plaque as an appreciation and recognition of you being the 280th Basic Class President. It's my hope that you'll display that proudly. Congratulations. Stay here. Now, Officer Davis will say a few words about the 280th Class Legacy Project.
For the 280th Class Legacy Project, we decided as a class to start a fundraising campaign for Friends in Service of Heroes. Friends in Service of Heroes, or as you will hear me refer to it from now on, FISH, is a veteran support organization. They are based out of Kansas City, Kansas, and they assist disabled veterans in obtaining much-needed services and assistance, such as obtaining a service animal. Excuse me. Many of these service members would otherwise be unable to attain this aid. Many within our class are veterans themselves, or have friends or family who are veterans, or have veterans within their communities. Honoring and supporting the veteran community has been a major concern for our class. Through this fundraising campaign, our class was able to raise $1,500 in just over 22 days in support of FISH. We will be providing a check to FISH through their representative, Mr. Paul Chapa, and I apologize if I said that wrong. If you would.
At KLETC, we recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skill sets during their basic training. For the 280th, we'll start with fitness. Fitness being a key component in any officer's life. Helps them deal with daily stress that they'll face and aids them in maintaining a healthier lifestyle, enabling them to better mitigate the dangers that they may encounter. All members of the 280th during their time here at KLETC were active and engaged in a fitness routine. Some of these officers met the goals to be recognized as members of the 200-mile club. For a student officer to be recognized as a member, the officer must have completed 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, all in a minute. Excuse me, let's do 30 sit-ups in a minute, 30 push-ups in a minute, as well as run a mile and a half in under 18 minutes. Additionally, they also have to have logged 200 miles or more outside of their daily activities in the classroom. We have 5 officers who have completed these goals. When I call your names, please stand to be recognized. Officer Jonathan Davis of the Altamont Police Department, Deputy Sarah Howard from the Atchison County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jesse McCohen from the Saline County Sheriff's Office, Officer Christopher Moyer from the Kickapoo Tribal Police Department, and Deputy Austin Tillman from the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. This is truly quite an undertaking and demands our recognition. Please join me in recognizing these individuals for their efforts. Please be seated. Staying with fitness, furthermore, we also recognize the individuals for their exceptional work on top of that. We have 2 individuals from the 280th, one that logged a number of miles well over 200, and one for the improvements that they made from day 1 to the last day of their training. Officer Christopher Moyer and Deputy Jesse McCohen, please join me at the podium. During the 200-mile club challenge, Officer Moyer completed over 200 miles by completing 228 miles, along with well exceeding the other physical requirements of the 200-mile challenge. Deputy McCohen is being recognized for being the most improved. While logging over 200 miles during his time here, he was also most improved on the physical standards of sit-ups, push-ups, and the mile-and-a-half run. Please join me in recognizing Officer Moyer and Deputy McCohen. Please be seated. Next, the Firearms Top Shooter Award recognizes the student officer from the 280th Basic Training Class for their firearms proficiency. I would like Spencer Medina of the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks to please stand and join me at the podium. Officer Medina has shown great skill and proficiency during both the firearms qualification and during the tactical shooting drills. Shooting is a perishable skill and truly requires constant effort to maintain your abilities. Officer Medina, you have shown how practice and effort pays off. Well done. Please join me in recognizing Officer Medina for his top shot achievement. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to today's commencement speaker, Sheriff Kevin Bascue from the Finney County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Bascue was born and raised in Garden City and graduated from Garden City High School in 1980. He then attended Garden City Community College and then the University of Kansas. Sheriff Bascue began working for the Finney County Sheriff's Department in 1984 as a jail deputy shortly after returning home from college. Sheriff Bascue worked in the jail for 1.5 years and then was transferred to the patrol division, where he eventually became patrol corporal. In 1989, Sheriff Bascue was transferred to the crime prevention division, where he worked until he was promoted to jail administrator in 1990. In 1992, Sheriff Bascue was promoted to undersheriff under former Sheriff Grover Craig. Sheriff Bascue was undersheriff until he was elected to his first term as the Finney County Sheriff in 1996. Sheriff Bascue was recently elected to his 7th term as the Finney County Sheriff. Sheriff Bascue graduated from the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center in May of 1986. He is a 1990 graduate of the National Crime Prevention Institute at the University of Louisville, Kentucky. In 1995, while undersheriff of Finney County, Sheriff Bascue was the first Finney County Sheriff's Deputy ever selected to attend and graduate from the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Sheriff Bascue was inducted into the Garden City Community College Athletic Hall of Fame in 2004 and was inducted into the Garden City High School Hall of Fame in 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, Sheriff Bascue.
You know, I've been coming to these graduations for 25 years and was hoping and praying that I never got called to be one of the guest speakers. And so just before I'm getting ready to retire the end of September, then it happened. So, but I'm very excited about being here, especially that I have 2 deputies in today's class. Basic class 280. It must have been class number 5 that I was in 1986, but I'm sure it's not that low, but it sure seems like it. But there was, as I was driving out here from Garden City today, there were, I probably developed 3 or 4 different speeches for you today before I decided on one at the last minute. And the reason that I decided upon it is because it's a document that we had to read when I first started as a deputy back in 1984. And it was a document that was developed by the sheriff who hired me that I replaced in 1997. And it's been something that has shaped and molded my career since 37 years. And when I became sheriff, I decided to keep the document and share it with all of my deputies since then. And I think especially in today's law enforcement world, that it probably makes more sense today than ever. And it just amazes me that Sheriff Craig, who developed this document, and I have no idea how long before I even started that he developed it, seemed to already have a vision about what law enforcement should be for all of us. And it's just as important today. So what I'd like to do is read this document to you. And I'm gonna have to take my glasses off to be able to see it. But we call it our 10 Commandments at the Finney County Sheriff's Office. And the first is the most important thing to enter our office is people, in person, by mail, or by telephone. Our citizens are people who desire our service. It is our job to give them that service in such a way that mutual benefit and satisfaction result. Our citizens are not dependent upon us. On the contrary, we are dependent upon them. Our citizens are not an interruption of our work. They are the purpose of it. Our citizens are not outsiders in our work. They are part of it. Our citizens are not cold statistics. They are flesh and blood, human beings with feelings and emotions like our own. Our citizens are not people to argue with. Arguments are won only by avoiding them. Our citizens, whether belligerent or irritating, humble or appealing, always have a genuine right to receive prompt and courteous service. Our citizens do us a favor by giving us an opportunity to serve them. We are not doing them a favor by serving them. Our citizens expect only what we ourselves expect from those who have elected to serve others. Service with a minimum of delay and in a helpful, courteous, and efficient manner. Those are words that I've lived by since 1984 and that I continue to live by to this day. And it's words that I expect all of my deputies, since I've been sheriff the past 25 years, to live by. And I think that the two deputies in today's class would probably attest to that fact. We have them posted throughout the sheriff's office. And I think that those words, even more so today, bear even greater meaning to help us serve our communities. So I wish you all luck and safety in your careers, and hopefully 37 years from now, you may be joining me in retirement and enjoying the rest of your life. Thank you.
Sheriff Bascue, on behalf of the 280th Basic Class, the instructors and staff of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, we thank you. Please accept this plaque as recognition for being today's speaker, and good luck in retirement, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, as you all know, here at KLETC, ethics are at the forefront of training and our profession. The law enforcement oath of ethics, is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. Throughout your time here at KLETC, we have discussed this in depth. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. When a law enforcement officer takes the oath of office, they assume great responsibilities. They've entered in the position of being role models, where they must always lead by example. They become enforcers of the law and protectors of our communities. Because the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center believes the concepts and principles within the oath should be a dominating force in all officers' lives, I'll ask Class President Officer Jonathan Davis to lead the class with the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics affirmation. Class 280, please stand.
Right hand. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve. Right hand.
Class 280, please be seated. In a few moments, I'll be presenting each one of you a challenge coin, a coin similar to this one that I have right here. A challenge coin is something a few people know about, but to those who do, these coins are very symbolic and very meaningful. They're given to someone as a reminder of them, or to confirm membership in an organization or group. In this case, these coins are recognizing you as a KLETC graduate. I ask you to carry it with you as a reminder of the time you were here, the lessons learned, and of the friendships you've all gained. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you just affirmed. In carrying it with you, let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, it's been a long 14 weeks. Congratulations. It's been my honor and my pleasure to be a small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness. I will now introduce you to KLETC Associate Director Alvin Sowers. Mr. Sowers will be presenting the members of the 280th with their certificates, and I'll be presenting each one of you with your KLETC Challenge coin. Class President, Officer Jonathan Davis, will now announce the names of the graduates of the 280th Basic Training Class.
Jared Engel, Hayes Police Department. James Featherston, Seward County Sheriff's Office. Evelyn Gutierrez, Finney County Sheriff's Office. Sarah Howard, Atchison County Sheriff's Office. Arlene Lizarraga, Seward County Sheriff's Office. Christopher Lyon, Marion County Sheriff's Office. Jesse McCohen, Saline County Sheriff's Office. Front row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Spencer Medina, Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. Christopher Moyer, Kickapoo Tribal Police Department. Estrella Murcia, Finney County Sheriff's Office. Colby Prince, Fort Scott Police Department. Dylan Sheets, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. David Spain, Horton Police Department. Austin Tillman, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. John Valdez, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office.
And Jonathan Davis of the Altamont Police Department. Second row, you can return to your seats. Please be seated. This concludes our graduation ceremony for the 280th class. I'd like to thank all the folks that joined us on our live stream today, and hopefully you'll get a chance to share the joy with your graduates very, very soon. I would ask the 280th to stand. I hereby certify that each of you have completed the training requirements to satisfy the standard to be law enforcement officers for the state of Kansas. And for the words you've been waiting 14 weeks to hear, class dismissed.